We're having some technical difficulties here in the Fort Cobb gym as we don't have very good signal. The free throw just made was by Kelby Edge. It makes the score 6-1. Now White Neck underneath. They lay it up and in for 2 points. And now it's 8-1. Bears in charge here. Number 11 has entered the game, Mariah Gonzalez. Now Addison Wilson kicks it off to Alani Taylor. She'll put up the three-pointer, and she'll knock it down. She looks to be that three-point threat for the Mustangs. Now Presley Parkhurst in the front court. Passes off to White Neck. White Neck will pull up from 16. Off the backboard and in. Last two baskets by Haley White Neck. Under 2 minutes to play in this opening period. Mariah Gonzalez dribbles through the defense. Now kicks it off to Kelby Edge. Now Addison Wilson shoots the three-pointer off the mark. And now turnover there as Avery Wilson gets the rebound, but on her pass, difficult shot there. Edge will rebound for the Mustangs. They'll push it ahead to Gonzalez. She'll drive in. Now backs out to Addison Wilson. Kelby Edge. Now the ball's tipped away. Parkhurst tries to get there, can't quite claim it. Wilson gets the ball back, gives it off to Gonzalez, and now Alani Taylor. Now to Avery Wilson, inside to Kelby Edge. She'll go hard to the basket, and the foul will be committed by number 11, Haley Whiteneck. It'll be her first, and the team's third foul. Kelby Edge will be shooting 2 shots. She's 1 for 2 so far in the ball game. Her first attempt is short. Faith Bryan checking back in. Presley Parkhurst checked in there for the Bears earlier in the game too. And this time Abby Barton goes to the bench. Kelby Edge will have one more free throw coming with 1:07 on the clock. And she makes her second one. Number 10 will check in for the Lady Mustangs. That's Aiklin Lewis, looks like. Boyette brings the ball up with 1 minute on the clock. Parkhurst now to Greer. Now to Boyette. She'll dribble left, looks to drive, gets inside, puts her shot up off the mark. And now ball's looked like it got kicked up in the air by a foot. They don't call anything, and so Addison Wilson will look to drive the basket all the way to the basketball, to the rim. No good. Whiteneck is there for the defensive rebound. And now with 33 seconds on the clock, Boyette will slow down the offense and look for the last shot here in the period. 10-5 is the score. Greer to Bryan. 20 seconds to Boyette. 15. 10. Boyette with the ball. 5 seconds. Nowhere to go. Off to Bryan. She'll put a wild shot up, and that'll be the end of the period as she gets her shot blocked there. And the score at the end of one is 10 for the Bears and 5 for the Mustangs. Good effort as they came out. Bears came out strong in that first part of the period. Had an 8-1 lead, excuse me. And then the Mustangs were able to hit a three-pointer. Alani Taylor hit a three-pointer. And the only other points for the Mustangs are at the free throw line by Kelby Edge. She was 2 for 4. Haley Whiteneck, the leading scorer for the Bears. She has two baskets for 4 points and a rebound to go along with that. Jaden Greer has 1, Jasmine, and 2 rebounds. Jasmine Boyette has a three-pointer. That wraps up the first period of play. And so as we look forward to the second period, Bears have a 10-5 lead. As we're having trouble streaming here, we're going to be just recording this and posting it later so that you can watch it at your own convenience later on the live stream. Now the end of the intermission time between periods. Both teams coming back on the court. It'll be Lady Mustangs ball to begin. Eight minutes on the clock. Abby Barton picked up 2 fouls in that first period as well. So she'll be sitting the bench to start. Nope, actually she came back on though. Gonzalez off to Alani Taylor. Avery Wilson now with the ball over to Alani Taylor. She'll drive, backs it back out. And now 3-point attempt by number 10 is off mark. It'll be out of bounds. There's not much room to work in this gym on the sidelines. Now ahead to Bryan, to Barton. Now to Greer. She's wide open all the way to the basket and scores. 2 points, Jaden Greer. 12-5 is the score here, just underway in this second period. Addison Wilson with the ball. Into the corner. Alani Taylor is left wide open. Abby Barton there to rebound on the missed shot. Taylor hit a three-pointer in that first period, so I figured we'd cover her a little tighter than that, but evidently we're okay with her missing shots like that. That's good. Greer will come around the horn. Now gives it off to Boyette. She'll go back the other way. She'll pull up for three. Off the mark. Long rebound. Goes out of bounds, actually. 6:48 on the clock. It'll be Lady Mustangs ball. Addison Wilson dribbling up. We'll pass it over to Gonzalez. And now up ahead to number 10, Aiklin Lewis. She'll look to drive. Abby Barton gets a blocked shot. Good defense there by Barton. 6:33 on the clock. Haley Whiteneck brings the ball across the timeline. Now to Greer. Now to Faith Bryan. Back to Greer. She'll pull up for three. And she knocks it down. Jaden Greer, three-pointer. Makes the score 15-5. 6:12 on the clock in this second period. Avery Wilson will have the ball, the backcourt. She dribbles it across the timeline, gives it off to Mariah Gonzalez. Now looking down low to Lewis. Back to Addison Wilson. She'll pull back for three. It'll be off the mark. Jaden Greer there for the rebound. Gives it off to Barton. And now Boyette gets it ahead. Back to Bryan. Now to Greer. Jasmine Boyette with the ball. Off to Abby Barton at the top. Over to Greer. Now to Whiteneck. She'll drive, puts her shot up. She'll be too strong there. It'll go out of bounds. And a last touch, though, by the Mustangs. So it'll be Lady Bears ball with 5:29 on the clock. The referees are coming together, and they determine that it will be black ball. Presley Parkhurst checking in for Abby Barton. Inbound play, Boyette into Whiteneck. She'll drive, passes her defender, puts it up and in. Haley Whiteneck. She has 6 points so far in this ball game. She's coming alive. Mariah Gonzalez will dribble into the front court. Into the corner, Lonnie Taylor wide open in that corner again, and she'll knock down her second three-pointer of the game. 17-8 now is the score with 5:07 on the clock. They seem to be content leaving her wide open in that corner. She kind of disappears on them. Boyette with the ball on the left. Moves it over to Parkhurst. Now Greer inside. Difficult shot. And Mariah Gonzalez there for the rebound. And now stolen away, Jaden Greer. She'll cut to the basket, and a foul will be called as she puts the shot up. Foul will go against number 11, Mariah Gonzalez. That'll be her first and the team's third, And Jaden Greer will find herself at the free throw line shooting her third and fourth free throws. Her first one is up and in. Number 30, Sydney Batchelor, will check into the ball game for the Lady Bears, replacing Faith Bryan. Also, number 21, Jillian Stinson, comes back into the ball game for the Lady Mustangs. Second shot for Greer. And she is 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Score is now 19-8 with 4:37 on the clock. Addison Wilson dribbles across the timeline. Looks for a pick. She'll drive to the basket. Foul will be called. Foul will be called against the Bears. Presley Parkhurst, number 12. Be her first, team's fourth, and Addison Wilson shooting 2 shots. Her first attempt is up and in. Second attempt is also good. Boyette brings the ball up the court for the Lady Bears. Off to Jaden Greer. Over to Boyette. Now to Sydney Batchelor. White neck. She'll drive. Gets it off to Boyette on the baseline, and she'll knock down a jumper. 2 points, Jasmine Boyette. And that makes the score 21-10 with 4 minutes left in this second period. Addison Wilson will drive. She'll be open at the basket and lays it up and in. That's the first 2-point basket by the Lady Mustangs in this game. Their only other field goals, 2 3-pointers by Alani Taylor. Boyette with the ball. Off to Sydney Batchelor. Now to Boyette again. She'll put up the jumper. Gets it tipped, I believe. And number 10 will come down with it. That's Aiklin Lewis. Avery Wilson trying to drive. Backs it back out. Now she gives it off to Addison Wilson. Looking for the screen. Now into the corner, Alani Taylor. Now to Stinson. Back to Addison Wilson. She'll look to drive. Now to Jillian Stinson. She'll drive. And now a travel violation will be called. A turnover by the Lady Mustangs. Faith Bryan, Abby Barton checking back in to the game, replacing Jaden Greer and Sydney Batchelor. 3:01 on the clock. 21-12 is the score. Bears in front. Boyette with the ball. Gives it over to Faith Bryan. Now to Haley Whiteneck. Back to Boyette. Now to Bryan. Boyette over to Whiteneck. Now to Boyette, back to Bryan. 2:30 now on the clock. Now to Whiteneck. Back to Boyette. Now to Faith Bryan. Now Whiteneck. Tip ball, and Jillian Stinson comes away with it. Back to Addison Wilson. She'll try to push it inside to Avery Wilson. And now ball's loose. Addison Wilson chases it down. 2 minutes now on the clock. She'll look to make a move here. Gives it off to number 10, Lewis, and she'll knock down the three-pointer. Ashlyn Lewis is how they pronounce that. Whiteneck over to Boyette. Back to Whiteneck. And now to Bryan. 1:40 on the clock in the second period. Parkhurst in the corner. She'll dribble it back up. Long pass over to Boyette. Now to Bryan. Barton. Boyette now to Bryan. Now over the top of the defense to the Boyette. Now to Parkhurst. And now to Bryan. Fort Cobb fans wanted a walk, traveling violation, but now a hard foul is taken. Number 21, Jillian Stinson, picks up the foul. That'll be her second, team's third, and Jasmine Boyette looks a little bit shaken up there. That's the team's fourth, Jaden Greer checking in for Abby Barton. It'll be an inbound play for the Lady Bears. That looked like a rough play. Now pass into Parkhurst, now Bryan, and now Boyette. She'll look to attack. And now Greer, drive to the basket, gets her shot blocked though. Addison Wilson blocks the shot, gets the ball, and brings it up. It's to break down the defense, and now Jasmine Boyette picks up the foul there as she reaches in. That'll be the 5th team foul, first foul for Jasmine. Be an inbounds play on the baseline for the Lady Mustangs. 48 seconds left in this first half. Wilson to inbound. Over the top. And Haley Whiteneck chases it down. Still loose. And now claimed by Alani Taylor. She'll drive and gets all the way to the basket and lays it up and in. Unfortunate for the Bears there. 40 seconds now in this second period. Over to Whiteneck. Back to Boyette. Now to Whiteneck. Back to Boyette. 25 seconds. Now to Bryan. Into the corner to Greer. Whiteneck puts a shot up. Off the mark. Gets a rebound. 10 seconds. Greer will drive. Foul will be called on the shot. Good job by the Lady Bears controlling the clock there. 8.8 seconds left. And Jaden Greer will go to the line shooting 2 shots. It'll be her 5th and 6th free throws. And the foul goes against number 21, Jillian Stinson. That'll be her 3rd foul in this first half. Her first attempt for Greer is off the mark. Number 5, Mackenzie Coker will check in for the Bears. Last 8 seconds of this period, along with Sydney Batchelor, replacing Boyette and Whiteneck. Second attempt by Greer is good. That makes her 4 for 6 on the free throw line so far tonight. 5 seconds. Addison Wilson. 2 seconds. She gets the shot off, and it will count. Great defense there, just better offense there as she put the last second shot up. And that makes the score at halftime 22-19. Bears let the Mustangs get back into this ball game a little bit as they've had the momentum most of the first half and just let them score a few times at the basket there toward the end of that second period. At the end of the first half, Haley Whiteneck, 6 points, 2 rebounds. Jaden Greer, 9 points, 3 rebounds. Jasmine Boyette with 5 points. And Abby Barton with 2 points, 2 rebounds. Leading scorer for the Lady Mustangs of Fort Cobb-Broxton, Alani Taylor, number 25, has 8 points. Addison Wilson with 6. That's number 15. And the only other one to score, 2 others, have Ashlyn Lewis, number 10, has 3 points. And Kelby Edge has 2 points. And so as we get ready for the second half, we'll be back to call the second half in about 8 minutes, 42 seconds. internet access. As we come down to the final few seconds, the Lady Bears will have the first possession of the third period. And we're ready for action. 8 minutes on the clock. Jasmine Boyette over to Faith Bryan. Abby Barton. Back to Bryan. Back to Barton. Now to Boyette. Now to Haley Whiteneck. Jaden Greer in the corner. Oh, she'll lose the ball out of bounds as she looks to get behind the three-point line, possibly with the shot there. And so that'll be a turnover by the Bears to start the third period. Number 15, Addison Wilson, brings the ball up for the Lady Mustangs. Now over to number 25, Alani Taylor. And now to number 12, Avery Wilson. Now Jillian Stinson, number 21, will drive. Gets it off to Edge, and she'll make her shot count. Kelby Edge for 2 points. 7:09 just underway in this third period, and the score's just a 1 point advantage for the Bears now. Boyette passes over to Bryan. Looking for the best possible play here. Bryan to Boyette. Inside to Whiteneck. Another bad pass and a turnover. And Addison Wilson will look to fast break opportunity. And the basket went in. They'll count the basket. And the foul will go against Faith Bryan. Again, the 6:31 on the clock. And that gives the first lead to the Lady Mustangs in this ball game, 23-22, and a chance to make it 24. .6:31 on the clock. Scorers table had a question there on who the foul was on, I guess, and so they'll put it up now. One team foul, first foul for Faith Bryan as well. 6:31 in this third period. Over to Greer. Now to Boyette. Back to Greer. To Barton on the baseline. Now to Whiteneck. Boyette. She'll line up a three-pointer, puts it up and in. Jasmine Boyette gives the lead back to the Bears, 25-24, with 6 minutes now on the clock. Addison Wilson brings the ball across the timeline. Dribble over to the right side. And now off to Avery Wilson. Now to Alani Taylor. Avery Wilson inside, posting up. Block shot there by Abby Barton and Haley Whiteneck. I don't know who got the block, but it looked good. Good defense there. Now Boyette races past her defender. She'll put up the quick shot again. It'll be too strong, and Kelby Edge there for the rebound for the Lady Mustangs. They'll press ahead. Addison Wilson into the corner. Jillian Stinson puts up the three-pointer. It's off the mark, and Haley Whiteneck will run it down for the Lady Bears. 5:15 now on the clock. Greer to Whiteneck on the baseline. Now back out to Bryan. She'll shoot the 17-footer. Be off the mark. And Wilson will look to press it ahead. She'll kick it into the corner. Bad pass, though. Goes out of bounds. And it'll be a turnover by the Lady Mustangs. Now Presley Parkhurst checking in here for Faith Bryan. She inbounds it into Boyette. 4:55 in this third period. Pass over to Greer. She'll look at a three-pointer. Off the back iron, and Addison Wilson there for the rebound. Now she slows up the pace, walking it across the timeline there. Look for the screen. She gets it. Now inside to Stinson. She'll put her shot up off the mark, and Jaden Greer there for the rebound. Now Boyette. Dangerous pass there. Parkhurst claims it in. Greer will drive the baseline. And a foul will be called as she puts her shot up. She'll go to the free throw line. She's been at the free throw line 6 times in that first half. Foul goes against number 15, Addison Wilson. Be her first and the team's first of the half. And Jaden Greer shooting 2 shots. First one is up and in. Second attempt is also good. And that extends out the lead to 3, 27-24. Wilson with the ball. She'll pass it into Edge. Dangerous pass. She claims it, though. And now Wilson. She'll look to drive the Bartons there to back up on the defense. And now over to Stinson. And now to Avery Wilson. Now Alani Taylor to Stinson. Inside to Edge. She'll make a move. Left-handed shot. Off the mark. Boyette will run it down for the Bears. Gives it off to Whiteneck. 3:27 on the clock now. Into the corner. Greer's wide open for 3, and it's too strong off the front iron. And Addison Wilson claims the rebound. She'll look to drive the basket. Misses her shot. Abby Barton there for the rebound. Gives it off to Boyette. She'll pass it across to Jaden Greer. Now back to Boyette. Greer. Parkhurst. Barton is there. She'll be fouled. Good play there by the Lady Bears as they look inside. Barton cuts to the basket, and she puts her shot up. The foul will go against the Lady Mustangs. Number 15, Addison Wilson. That'll be her second. Both of them coming in this third period. And Abby Barton shooting 2 shots. Her first attempt is going to be off the mark. She'll have one more attempt here. And that one's off the mark as well. Rebounded by number 12, Avery Wilson. Gives it off to Addison Wilson. She'll dribble it to the left side this time. Alani Taylor coming clear. She'll pull up for 3. Nobody covers her. Off the mark, Abby Barton there for the rebound. And 2:30 now on the clock in this third period. Bears up by 3. Boyette into the corner to Parkhurst. Back to Boyette. Now to Greer. Whiteneck to Boyette. Parkhurst to Barton on the baseline. Back to Parkhurst. She'll line up the 3-pointer. It'll be off the mark. And a foul will be called on the loose ball there. Jaden Greer will pick up the foul. That'll be her first. And the team's second, Faith Bryan, will check in right quick. Presley Parker's checking out. Bryan replacing her. 2:04 on the clock. 27-24 is the score. Addison Wilson jogs up to the front court. Gives it off to Avery Wilson. Now to Kelby Edge. To Addison Wilson. She'll pull up for 3. Long rebound. Faith Bryan will claim it. And now Haley Whiteneck with the ball. Up to Jasmine Boyette. 1:33 on the clock. She'll pull up for 3. Off the mark, and Kelby Edge there for the rebound. Passing it into the corner, Jillian Stinson. Back out to Edge. Now back to Stinson. Now to Addison Wilson. Inside to Edge. 3-pointer on the way, off the mark. Jasmine Boyette there for the rebound. 1:05 on the clock in this third period. Bears up by 3. Passing it into the corner to Greer. She'll line up a three-pointer. And she'll knock it down. Jaden Greer for 3 points. And that doubles up the lead at 6, 30-24 now, under a minute to play. Avery Wilson. Looks like they'll be holding for a last-second shot maybe. Addison Wilson now. Looking for a screen, I believe. Now over to Avery Wilson. She'll drive through the paint. Edge now with the ball, under 30 seconds. Inside to Avery Wilson. She'll go to the left side of the glass, and Abby Barton there for the rebound. Good job by the defensive end here by the Bears. 15 seconds now. Boyette with the ball into the corner to Greer. And now they'll say she stepped out of bounds with 12.7 seconds on the clock. Number 11, Mariah Gonzalez, will check in for the Lady Mustangs, along with for the Lady Bears, Sydney Batchelor, Presley Parkhurst, and number 21, Kylie McDaniel, making her first appearance in the ball game. 12.7 seconds on the clock. We need a good defensive stand here to keep this lead extended out to 6. Addison Wilson, 5 seconds. She'll look to drive. And the shot will be off the mark, and that'll be the end of 3. The Bears up by 30-24, up 6. And they've extended their lead out from halftime. They've doubled it up from 3 to 6. Good effort by the Lady Bears in that third period after starting off a little sluggish and having a few turnovers to start the period. Lady Bears ended up scoring 8 points in that period and only 5 points for the Lady Mustangs. And so a good effort by the defensive end, especially that period. Jaden Greer, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Jasmine Boyette has 8 points, 2 rebounds. Haley Whiteneck, 6 points, 3 rebounds. And Abby Barton with 2 points and 5 rebounds. Alani Taylor still has 8 points. Addison Wilson, 9 points now with 3 rebounds. And so those are the leading scores. Foul trouble. No one on the Bears has more than 2. Abby Barton has the 2. And for the Lady Mustangs, Jillian Stinson, number 21, has 3. Number 15, Addison Wilson, has 2. And that's the foul situation. It's just 2 fouls apiece here on the teams. And the Lady Mustangs have the first possession of the fourth period. Avery Wilson with the ball. Looking inside to Kelby Edge. Now kicking it off. Alani Taylor wide open from 3. And she's hit her third three-pointer in the ball game. Dangerous to leave her wide open as she's knocked down 3 here in this ball game. Jaden Greer over to Boyette. 7:30 on the clock in this fourth period. Now to Greer, looking inside to Whiteneck. She'll pass it off to Bryan. She'll put up the 15-footer. It'll be too strong. And Alani Taylor comes away with the rebound. Now Addison Wilson puts up the three-pointer and ties up the ball game immediately. A bad start here by the Bears as they've allowed the three-point line to come alive for the Lady Mustangs. Boyette now with the ball. Whiteneck will attack. She'll put her shot up. No good. Faith Bryan there to rebound. And a jump ball will be called. It'll be Lady Bears ball. .6:56 on the clock. Tied up at 30. Jaden Greer, Boyette, she'll line up a three-pointer from the corner, and she'll drain one. Her third of the game. And that gives the lead back to the Bears by 3, 33-30 with 6:45 on the clock. Alani Taylor. Now to Avery Wilson. Back to Taylor. Looking into Edge. She'll turn to the baseline side. Abby Barton there with good defense. Defensive presence. She claims her 6th rebound of the ball game. Now getting it ahead to Greer. And now back to Bryan. Greer to Bryan. Over to Boyette. Now Barton in the corner. Back to Bryan. Boyette. 6:05 now on the clock. Haley Whiteneck looking to Barton. And the shot is blocked. Addison Wilson coming away with it. She'll push it ahead looking for a fast break opportunity. Almost loses her dribble off a teammate. She'll give it off to Mariah Gonzalez. She'll drive, lays it up. No good. Abby Barton there for the rebound. Now she'll try to find a pass out, and she does. Jaden Greer now to Faith Bryan. 5:33 on the clock. Haley Whiteneck now to Greer. Abby Barton. Over to Jasmine Boyette, now to Faith Bryan. 5:15. To Barton. Now Greer. Barton. And a pass goes too long, out of bounds. Be a turnover there by the Bears. 5 minutes on the clock. 33-30 now is the score. The Bears on top. Ran a good portion of the clock off there in that possession. Just couldn't. An errant pass caused them not to have a shot attempt. Kelby Edge now to Mariah Gonzalez. Now to Addison Wilson. Now to Gonzalez. She'll drive the baseline. Shot goes up. Rolls around the rim. Edge is there for the offensive rebound, but too strong on her putback. And now Jaden Greer claims the rebound. Haley Whiteneck will hold it up, and they'll look to set up the offense again. Three-pointer on the way. Jaden Greer, we believe, is the one who made that. We couldn't see. Now a timeout called. We're in a full timeout here. I believe the Lady Bears called the timeout as we're discussing what happened. We had a few people passing in front of us. We couldn't see exactly what happened. And so we're going to give one timeout to the Bears there and just expect that to be right. We'll also give the three-pointer to Jaden Greer, and that extends the lead out 36-30. And we're about halfway through this fourth and final period. Timeout expires. Both teams back on the court, ready for action. 4:18 left in the clock in this fourth period. Ball's inbounded to Addison Wilson. She'll bring it across the timeline. Now off to Mariah Gonzalez, to Kelby Edge. Now to Wilson. Alani Taylor. Avery Wilson. Mariah Gonzalez looking inside to Alani Taylor. Out to Addison Wilson. Three-pointer on the way. It'll be off the mark. And out goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Bears. And so it'll remain in possession of the Lady Mustangs. Inbounded to Alani Taylor. Now out to Avery Wilson. Addison Wilson. She'll turn the corner, drive to the basket, lays it up and in. Addison Wilson. 36-32 now the score, 30-33 on the clock. Jasmine Boyette brings the ball up the court. Off to Jaden Greer. And now to Faith Bryan. Back to Boyette. She'll pull up for a long shot. Be too strong and chased down by Mariah Gonzalez. She'll look to push it ahead. Good job by the defense to get back. Alani Taylor will drive. Pushes it back out to Avery Wilson. Now to Mariah Gonzalez. 3 minutes now left in the ball game. Addison Wilson. She'll put a hard shot up. Kelby Edge there for the offensive rebound. And now, out of bounds the ball goes as she went over the back and touched it away from Abby Barton. Good job by the defense there to keep that possession contained. And no good shots up. 2:33 now on the clock. Jaden Greer, Faith Bryan, Haley Whiteneck, Greer. Ball is tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Mustangs. Faith Bryan will inbound. Subbing in is Ashlyn Lewis, number 10 for the Lady Mustangs. Boyette gets the ball with 2:20 on the clock. Haley Whiteneck dribbles into trouble, back to Boyette. And now Jaden Greer. They'll look to press the defense out to the half-court line. Faith Bryan, Jasmine Boyette. Now 2 minutes on the clock. Haley Whiteneck. And now she loses the ball, but Greer is there to claim it back for the Bears. Now Barton. Haley Whiteneck, Jaden Greer. Faith Bryan steps up to the three-point line. She'll be too strong. Addison Wilson puts the shot up, or gets the rebound, Gets it ahead to Mariah Gonzalez for 2 points. 34-36 now is the score. 1:36 on the clock. And a timeout taken by the Lady Mustangs. It'll be a full timeout. Their second of the game. They'll have 3 remaining. And it's a tight ball game here going into the final couple of minutes here. First horn on the timeout here. Next week we'll be playing in cash. Regardless of if we win or lose, we'll be playing in cash. If we win, we'll be playing that night at 6:30. And if we lose, I believe 1:30 ball game. As the timeout expires, it'll be Lady Bears ball on the far end of the court. 1:36 left in the ball game. Haley Whiteneck to trigger the inbound. Now Faith Bryan gets the inbound pass. Back to Whiteneck. She'll bring it across the timeline. And now she'll look to attack. Pulls it back out. Now to Boyette. Greer. Greer will drive. A foul will be called. And it'll go against number 15, I believe. Yes, it will. That's Addison Wilson. That'll be her third. And Jaden Greer steps to the free throw line. They're gonna call it an inbound pass, not on the shot. All right, we'll take the ball out, run some more clock here with 2-point lead. Boyette to inbound. Into Parkhurst, and now a foul is called on the shot. Addison Wilson will take the foul. That'll be her fourth, and the team's fourth. And Presley Parkhurst will step to the line to chance to extend the lead out to a 2-possession ball game if she can make them both. Her first attempt is up and in. And that makes it a 3-point ball game right now, 37-34. Minute 19 on the clock. Second shot for Parkhurst. Rims in and out. Mariah Gonzalez gets the ball. Now Addison Wilson looks to now to Gonzalez. Alani Taylor. Now to Addison Wilson. Alani Taylor. And now a timeout taken by the Mustangs. They'll take a 30-second timeout. They'll have 2 remaining, I believe. Minute 2 seconds left on the clock. And the Bears hold a 3-point advantage. The referees have done a good job of not calling a lot of things on the court that other games we've seen referees call. But we sure do want to be at the free throw line at this point in the game. An opportunity to win the ball game at the free throw line. As the timeout expires, again, the Bears up by 3 going into the final minute of play, minute and 2 seconds left on the clock. It'll be Lady Mustangs ball. An inbound pass from the sideline at their bench. Ashlyn Lewis, number 10, will inbound to Addison Wilson. She'll dribble to the right. Now Lonnie Taylor. Back to Wilson. She'll drive. Puts a shot up, and now a foul's called on the shot. And number 14, Faith Bryan, will be called. And it'll be called on the floor. 49.43 seconds on the clock. Inbounded to Avery Wilson. She'll look to press it back inside. And now out to Addison Wilson. 40 seconds. Lewis. Addison Wilson. With Lonnie Taylor. And now another timeout will be taken with 31 seconds on the clock. Lady Mustangs take their 4th timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. It'll be a full 60 seconds. And it's getting exciting here in Fort Cobb's gym, as the Bears have a chance to win the regional championship here, up by 3 with just 41 seconds remaining. 31 seconds, I believe it was, wasn't it? Something like that. It's between 41 and 31 seconds anyway, isn't it? And so we're going to be finding out here in just a few minutes who the champion is of this region. And we'll go on to play next weekend. If we win, we play Friday night at 6:30. If we lose, we'll play Thursday at some point in the day. As the timeout expires, 31.13 seconds on the clock. It'll be an inbound play for the Lady Mustangs. Lewis inbounds to Avery Wilson, now to Addison Wilson. Gives it back to Avery. We're now looking for the backdoor cut. She'll go clean to the basket. Addison Wilson lays it up and in. And now the final timeout will be taken by the Lady Mustangs with 21.4 seconds on the clock. It'll be 60 seconds in length. All right, as we get ready to start this final 21 seconds. We found out that the winner of this game plays Friday night, 6:30. The loser of this game will go on to play Thursday night, or Thursday afternoon at 1:30. And so we're hoping for a win here so we can get into the winner's bracket side of things at area. We're up by 1, 21.4 seconds remaining. Inbound play for the Lady Bears. And now to Jasmine Boyette, and a foul will be taken. Number 12, Avery Wilson, will pick up the foul. It'll be her first. And it looks like they'll want to... It'll be Lady Bears ball. Inbounded to Boyette, and now Avery Wilson will again pick up the second foul, and that'll be the 6th team foul. And now a timeout will be taken by the Lady Bears. It'll be 30 seconds in length with 18.8 seconds on the clock. And the next foul by the Lady Mustangs will result in free throws for the Bears. So far we've had 3 players shoot free throws. Jaden Greer has had the most attempts, 8 attempts, has made 6 of them. Presley Parkhurst is 1 out of 2, and Ivy Barton is 0 for 2 the free throw line. And so we're going to put our best free throw shooters on the court, I'm sure, to take these 1-and-1 shots here in just a moment. With 18.8 seconds. Timeout expired. All right, this inbound play. Faith Bryan again will inbound. Into Boyette. And now a foul taken. Avery Wilson will pick up her 3rd foul. And Jasmine Boyette will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Sydney Batchelor checking in for Presley Parkhurst in these last few seconds, 17.7. Jasmine Boyette for a 1-and-1 opportunity. And her first attempt is up and in, and so she'll get her second attempt here. 2-point advantage for the Bears, 38-36. Boyette shooting her second. This time it's short, off the mark, and ball is taken by the Mustangs. Addison Wilson will attack the basket. And now a foul will be called with 9.6 seconds on the clock. Foul will be called against Faith Bryan. That'll be her 3rd and the team's 4th. And so another timeout will be taken by the Lady Bears. It'll be a full 60-second timeout taken. 9.6 seconds on the clock. I've noticed something about the clock here is that when it runs to 0, there's actually another second before a buzzer will sound. And so there's still time on the clock, even though there's not. A little bit of a disadvantage for the visiting team, and for the home team, Fort Cobb, they have that advantage to know that that buzzer doesn't actually go off at 0. First horn is sounded. Bears up by 2 points. Final 9.6 seconds remaining. A chance to go into the championship, the winner's bracket in area. It'll be Lady Mustangs inbound play. Avery Wilson will trigger it into the corner to Lewis. Back to Addison Wilson. She'll look to drive. And now back to Lewis. She'll put her shot up, off the mark, and rebound to, and that's the ball game. The Bears have pulled it off and won against the number 8 team in the state, and will go into the winner's side of the bracket into area. And the crowd is going wild here, loving the fact that we win 38-36, the final score. And the Bears look good doing it. They had an awesome night, both offensively and defensively. Struggled in the second half to score a little bit, but they did a good job there as they pull off the victory and are the champions of the region. Going into next week, they'll play on Friday night at 6:30. And Lady Bears will receive the plaque here for the regional champions. Jasmine Boyette, Faith Bryan receive it as seniors. And that's the ball game. An exciting win here tonight in Fort Cobb against the Fort Cobb-Broxton Lady Mustangs. Final score 38-36. (17 points, 5 rebounds for Jaden Greer. Jasmine Boyette, 12 points, 2 rebounds. Haley Whiteneck with 6 points early in the ball game and 3 rebounds. Abby Barton with 2 points, 7 rebounds, and Presley Parkhurst with 1 point. And so that wraps up the scoring for the Lady Bears as they go on to be the regional champions here in Fort Cobb. And we'll be looking at going into Friday night, 6:30 is when they'll play. We'll be there to broadcast the ball game Friday night, 6:30. And hopefully we have a little bit better signal that we can actually broadcast it live. Again, tonight, this will be posted later and be put online for your pleasure and your convenience to watch when you can. This is Casey King signing off for Leanne King on the camera and Adam Bryson on the computer saying, "Go Bears!"